Hello, First Christian Church and friends who are viewing our messages. This message comes to you on Daylight Savings Day of 2024. So the folks that are gathering in person are the ones who remembered to set their clocks ahead. There might be a handful of folks that are arriving thinking they're coming for Sunday school. In fact, it'll just be the right time for worship to begin, but we will celebrate with them, and I celebrate with you. Nevertheless, it is good to be together, and it is always my hope that our time here is a blessing and uplifting, and because for many of us it is just because we cannot be at in-person worship that we share in this moment. And so just know my prayers for you, whatever it is that is keeping you from being able to be here in person. I lift you in prayer and ask that God will bless you through the hearing of the scripture today, but in the course of whatever's going on in your life. Others of us are going to be watching this on a different day, maybe an entirely different week or month or year. That's the beauty of YouTube and the beauty of sharing these things on the internet. They're available to us over the course of time. So blessings to you whenever it is you are engaging in this reflection. We are continuing to read through the Gospel of Mark, and today is the fourth Sunday in Lent. We are 3 weeks away from our Easter celebration, and in 2 weeks we begin our journey through Holy Week on the way to and through the cross into that celebration of the empty tomb. Mark 3, verses 1 through 6, from the Message, and this is how Eugene Peterson translates this passage. The story. Then Jesus went back in the meeting place in the synagogue, where he found a man with a withered hand. Now the Pharisees had their eyes on Jesus to see if he would heal him, hoping to catch him in a Sabbath violation. So just stick with that in your mind for just a moment. These are the keepers, the teachers, the enforcers of the religious law, and their attitude in terms of their role is to police Jesus, to actively be watching for him to do what they have already decided is wrong, and therefore to catch him in it and punish him for it. This is a theme that will continue. But Jesus, also being not only the Messiah, and for us in our faith content, the Son of God, Jesus is in his interactions, particularly with this group of the folks who keep the law and see themselves as the enforcers and the evaluators of everyone else. He surely does qualify as a rebellious, even radical figure who turns all of the expectations and turns all of the legalisms and the rule-followingness of what is going on all on its head, and reminds the people in every story and the people who come to him for help and who find healing are transformed. All of what Jesus offers is a blessing of renewal and restoration, whereas what the Pharisees offer are legalisms and shame and blame. So anyway, they are watching Jesus, waiting for him to dare to do something good on the Sabbath so that they can punish him for it. Consider that. When have you experienced that sense in your life that no good deed goes unpunished? There is that atmosphere going on in what Jesus is encountering here in the synagogue. So anyway, the Pharisees are waiting to see if they can catch Jesus. And Jesus says to the man with the crippled hand, "Stand here where all of us, can see you." Then Jesus spoke to the people. What kind of action suits the Sabbath best? Doing good or doing evil? Helping people or leaving them helpless? No one said a word. He looked them in the eye, one after another, getting angry now, furious at their hard-nosed religion, their lack of compassion, their devotion to the rules rather than to the renewal of the lives of the people. And he said to the man, "Hold out your hand." And he held it out, and it was as good as new. The Pharisees, of course, because of their attitude from the beginning and of the hardness of their heart, the Pharisees got out as fast as they could, sputtering about how now they were going to join forces with Herod's followers to ruin Jesus. No good deed goes unpunished. The gospel is good news of renewal and transformation and salvation. And even within the Judaism that the Pharisees were working so hard to enforce, the blessing of healing and transformation and renewal on the Sabbath was meant to be a double blessing, not a curse of disobedience. And Jesus reminds us. The law is meant to be life-giving. And the purpose of our faith is not about strict adherence to every rule that we have added to the blessing of Sabbath observance, as we've learned all the way through here. Sabbath observance is not legalistic. It is for the sake of renewal, recreation, and recreation. So Jesus brings healing, renewal, transformation, and shows us the purpose of what is good and of faithfulness. May God help us and bless us to live faithfully, to acknowledge the deadliness of legalism, and to follow in faith, recognizing all the ways our encounters with Jesus have transformed us and renewed us. May we receive the healing Jesus offers, especially on the Sabbath day. Go in peace, my friends.